I mean, you can start here. So we're going on a performance walk and we're going to look at how places maintain memory. I like to start here with when I take students for walks because I introduce them to a concept called palimpsest, which is a big word for layers. So we're in a building here that was built in the 1950s, opposite a building that was built in the 19th century, opposite a building built in the 21st century, 21st century, 20th century. All of these things happening here in an area called Drake's Circus, which has been called Drake's Circus since the 17th century. And all of that history is just kind of connected in our feet. So I like to get students to think about all these relationships that are going on. I like to take people through the city, trying to uncover what lies hidden, what might be there that we pass every day. So I wanted to bring you here because this is called the Liar's Clock. Okay. Well, it's Derry's clock tower, okay? And we're just opposite the bank, which used to be the Lloyd's Bank back in the day. So William Derry was the mayor of Plymouth in about the 1860s, erected 1862. Yeah. And he wanted to put something in the city with his name on it, so he built this. But he also wanted the public to pay for it. And this thing cost £10,000 back in 1862, so you can imagine how much that is, right? Yeah. The only way you could get public funds to pay for it was if you provided something like a fountain. So although this is a clock tower, at the base here you can see these fountains, so you can see, but if you put your finger where the gargoyle is, it's solid. Oh. So it's never been a fountain. So it's a kind of ego trip in a way. Yeah. And so you go all around, and it's rather beautiful as well. It's got like some nice things on it, and obviously the clock tower's there. But the other reason, they call it the Liar's Clock because the hands of the clock are slightly too far from the clock face. Yeah. Well, certainly when it was built up, it was like, so it never told the true time. If you were walking, then you needed to check the time. It was called the Liar's Clock.
So it would only work if you were like up there.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I really like it. But I like to start here when I do walks because obviously I take people on monument walks and you start with this one, which is called the Liar's Clock, and then you end up with something which is a little bit more beautiful. You asked me what my favourite place in Plymouth was, and this is, I call it the Cross of Three. It's just a monument, and it's been here since 1797. And what you can see, obviously, if you look now, you can see the tarmac around it. Up until recently, there were cobbles around it, and there's every time they repatch this walkway, they leave that. And there's nothing anywhere to tell you what it is, so you have to do your research. And so basically, it's quite a beautiful and horrific story. In 1797, there were the Napoleonic Wars going on, and there were the Irish rebellions going on, and there were 3 Irish Marines, Ireland being part of Britain at the time, who rebelled. And, well, actually there were 4 Marines, but 3 of them were actually executed here, literally just off this point, just over there. And the monument is their mates who wanted to remember them, carved this and placed this here. So there's a little cross of cobblestones and a cross of 3. It's a horrific story, but I love this monument because it's, hundreds of years old, and it just remains there quietly. And it, in the noise of all these big monuments, you've got this kind of monument to love of these people remembering their mates. And doesn't matter how much this changes, that stays. And again, it's really interesting. There's never any kind of plaque around it or anything. So you have to do your research. Yeah, this is the last monument I usually bring people to. I think it's the nicest. Basically, it's Charles Norrington, who's a sort of city worthy. His wife passed away and he wanted to build a memory to her. So this is built in her memory. It's got a kind of biblical connection at the top. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. To remember her, he built these water fountains at a time when water was incredibly dangerous. So this created clean water for people, but it's just purely about love. And it's kind of love for his wife, but love for the people of Plymouth as well. Yeah. And it's a gift. I just really like it in the context of everything else that's going on up here. Yeah. When I bring students, one of the things you look at is the stonework on things. So obviously this is going to granite, and obviously once you start looking, you realise that the reason you have the colour is because this is animal life. Okay, so this would be crustaceans or whatever, yeah. But the strange thing is, all around us we've got this pink stone and this kind of limey colour stone and a bit greyer, but it all comes from over there. There's an old quarry where We've got a little train track with Gus Honeyburn goes around. You've seen it, and most of the stone comes from there. But the reason the colour changes is just the layer you take from the stone. So this would just be maybe newer than this, and so as they go down into the quarry, so it's coming from the same place. It's all Plymouth related. But yeah, the pink is interesting, isn't it? In terms of the love and it softens the.
Feels more caring.
Yeah. If you think of yourself as part of a community of practice, so you're not just this one person doing this one thing, you know, like a solipsistic artist stood in a studio, but actually you're part of all these different people that are examining a question.
Yeah.
You start to realise actually you have other voices you can tap into. That's the beauty of art schools, is that our art schools are communities of creative people. Everyone different. Everybody in the building is creative. I mean, everybody, you know, obviously all the lecturers and all your technicians, but also our stewards and our cleaners and our front of house staff. Everyone's creative. And so you've got this sort of community where everybody wants to just be doing creative things.